happened? Hi, I'm Renee, and I'm going to read this book to you today. It's called The Adventures of Flapjack, Finding Where I Belong. It's written by Dan Cohen and illustrated by Mark Anderson. It's all about a lost Australian shepherd puppy in the forest who finds a new home. And one of the reasons I like reading it to my grandson so much is because it rhymes. So here we go. Did you ever dine with a plump porcupine, or sing out of tune with a raucous raccoon? Have you raced over rocks with a bushy-tailed fox, or danced with a skunk or a cheerful chipmunk? Can you believe I did them all? Well, I did, in the forest when I was small. My floor was the ground and my ceiling the sky. Not a person in sight, but I don't know why. Was I left there by somebody I had known? Did I run off to see the world on my own? I had no doghouse and no toys either. I wasn't quite sure I wanted to be there. I had only a coat of white, brown, and black, and a tag on my collar that simply read Jack. But adventures found me around every bend, and every new creature became a new friend. I met a white possum, a fawn, and a bear, and a slow-motion turtle and a lightning-fast hare. I saw a young duck at the river one day. He called himself Fowler and asked me to play. Then he danced on the water and flew in the air. But how could we play when he was up there? I wanted to fly, so I jumped and I leaped. But each time I did, I fell in a heap. I guess ducks are lucky. They know how to fly. Puppies do not, but I don't know why. Could it be Fowler's wings help him to fly? If only I had wings, I'd give it a try. I started to run and thought with some luck, I could just flap my ears and fly like a duck. My friends yelled, "Flapjack!" But I must have looked silly as I ran and I flapped and I flopped on my belly. But Fowler just frowned, for he knew about things. The one thing he knew was that ears were not wings. He said, "You might fly like a duck, but I doubt it. Or you can enjoy being a dog. Think about it. Still, you look great when your ears flap around. It looks as if you're flying on the ground. Your tag says Jack, but if it's just the same, I'm going to call you Flapjack. I like that name." One sunset, he said I could climb on his back. I kept sliding off, but I soon got the knack. I held on tightly as we soared so high over treetops into the darkening sky. As the golden twilight became starry night, we skimmed upon rivers of shimmering light. Then we rocketed up so close to the moon, I thought we would pop it, just like a balloon. He soon was my friend, the kindest I knew. He wrapped his wings round me when winter winds blew. On summer days, we'd escape from the heat and just stare at my forepaws and his two webbed feet. Later, there seemed to be change in the air. I felt soon I'd be traveling very far from there. In the forest, I'd learned to trust what I feel, and I knew what I felt soon would be real. And sure enough, I was sniffing a pine tree one sunny day when a ranger drove up and took me away. I said I'd be happy right where I was. He smiled and said, "I took you because dogs simply cannot be running out free. Dogs live with people. That's how it should be." I thought of my friends. No chance for goodbyes. Should dogs live with people? I don't know why. Are they just meant to be together? Do dogs need houses in rainy weather? But what about foxes and raucous raccoons? If they need people, if I need people, do they need them too? Before too long, I was brought to a home with a mom and a dad and a big yard to roam. Soft grass to run on, a big blue pond too, on a shady, curvy road called Adventure Avenue. I discovered new friends. Wow, there were so many, like squirrels and bright red ladybugs and a lizard named Lenny. As I grew, I'd watch the birds flying from limb to limb. I'd think of good old Fowler and how much I missed him. Although we seem to make new friends as time passes by, We miss the ones we left behind, but I don't know why. While playing by the pond one day and chatting with a snail, something big came splashing down and drenched me head to tail. I shook the water off my coat, and then what did I see? The coolest duck in all the world, just smiling back at me. I licked his feathered head, and he flapped his wings with glee. He said he'd traveled very far until he spotted me. We played, but I was now full grown, and Fowler sadly found that when he tried to fly with me, he couldn't get off the ground. Though we had the greatest time, I still longed to fly. I guess we can't do all we want, but I don't know why. Time was one thing flying that day, and before too long, Fowler said he must go home where ducks like him belong. He reached his bill across his back and plucked a perfect feather. Keep this, my friend, and think about more fun we'll have together. He danced a bit and quacked that he'd be back to visit soon, then flew so high I saw his silhouette upon the moon. Now, happy with my family, at home in my own bed, a feather on my pillow and a very sleepy head. I'll dream of great adventures, and none will pass me by. Adventures seem to find me, but I don't know why. The end. I hope you enjoyed hearing this book as much as I enjoyed reading it to you. Bye-bye.